verse, and that fits our today's condition, that why people, they are fully aware of the coronavirus. There's so much of news, it's spreading, and the cause, and still we say we defy social distancing. We don't agree. Money is more important than life. So I'm not going into politics, but we have to find the cause deep within us. What is that reason why my mind behaves like this? Yeah, that is more important. So why our personality, behavior and attitude defies when we know that it is not good? What is that reason? Keep a smile, Lara. Your smile has gone. So our personality, attitude, behavior are driven by three factors according to, you can say, yoga, or according to Eastern wisdom, or specifically the originator of yoga, the Krishna answers. First is the guna. You see, Lara, I'm bringing the three gunas. So guna is three gunas are the first factor. Their permutation and combination. And their permutation and combination goes back to our past impressions in the current life and the previous life. That shapes our personality, attitude and behavior. And second factor is the karma, the way we act. I'm a very spiritual person and my behavior and attitude does not confirm that I am a spiritual person. So karma also drives me to a different attitude. It shows a different attitude. And the third one is my desire. So in the 4th chapter, the Gita, Krishna says, what he says, Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam gun karma vibhagasah. So it is guna, it is karma, it is desire. All the three drives me to go against even what is right and what is wrong. We don't listen. Simply we don't listen. Look at kids when they are growing and they are approaching 16. Mom, you don't understand. Dad, you don't know. So just stop talking. Just stop talking. So sattva guna is, normally many tantra masters have given different colors to these three gunas. Sattva, white color; rajas, red color; tamas, dark color. Sattva, knowledge and happiness. That person always seeks and searches the true nature and always cheerful and happiness. He is inspired by the higher ideal. Rajas, red color, hyperactive, dynamic, but running for happiness outside. That is the problem. So I remember A guy was running in the direction of the west, searching for the sun. He was totally exhausted, sweating. Where is the sun? But he was moving, running in the direction of the west. A monk stopped him and changed the direction, changed his face. Look here in the direction of the east. The sun is here and now. But the people with that rajas dominance, they don't see. I'm very busy. I'm fully busy. Even now when I'm confined into my house, I'm very busy. I'm always busy. I'm busier than the God. So we have to look at it. What we are working, we are trying to understand why people behave the way they behave, which goes against even the social norm, which goes against them also. They find themselves exhausted. And the third one is the tamas, lethargic. They go totally against. So these kinds of people with the dominance of tamas, stay home, stay safe. No. Why stay home and stay safe? I don't have money. Why shouldn't I go outside? Let me defy the orders. So I just go, when you have tamas dominant, you simply go against the social, ethical, moral and norms, and even you start harming yourself. Are you getting it? What the Krishna says, karma, kama, and the guna. Let us go a little deeper and understand that. You are a supreme sattvic person. Supreme sattvic, highest level. Then you are a monk. You are a sage. Even without wearing the external clothes. Your goal is to evolve and help others to evolve. So you have an element of rajas. But that rajas is dominated by the sattva. So your goal remains that you have to evolve and help everyone to evolve. Rajas, you are hyperactive, you are dynamic. So there are two types of people comes under this. I am always running outside. My mind is searching for peace outside and happiness outside. What happens then? You are exhausted. All the time you are exhausted. You remain busy even if you do nothing. Otherwise, mind is constantly thinking, planning, organizing the stuff that you do not complete in a day. These people cannot sit into the Himalayas. These people cannot sit into meditation for a longer period. But the moment you add the sattvic, little bit of sattvic, the life changes. Then what happens? The moment the mind is running outside, your mind says, no, happiness is inside. Calm down, relax. Everything can be done easily. And when you are driven by the tamas, you are totally lethargic, sleepy, subconscious. You defy all the rules. You go against the rules and the ethics. That is what is happening. So it is the type of the people. Now, let us understand little deeper. Sankalpa, kama, karma. 3 factors. We can easily understand. Sankalpa, kama means desire, and karma means action. So, sankalpa, rightly translated, there are many meanings of sankalpa. In our country, we use right intention. Have the intention so that you will succeed. We also use the sankalpa before meditation, before prayer, before worship. But then there is a third meaning applies here. Third meaning applies here. Sankalpa, you are watching TV, but the mind is thinking. Mind is thinking, I have to give a class, what happens, how many people are there, so mind is thinking. I'm eating, I'm at the dinner table, but my mind is thinking of tomorrow. It is constantly thinking. Mind likes something, so when the mind likes or dislikes anything, how? Because it perceives those objects and people through the sense organs. Right, first stage. Second stage, the mind says, I like it and I dislike it. I glorify through the thoughts. Earbuds that Lara is wearing is white and so nice. Up to that level, appreciation is okay. Appreciation, what is right, what is not right, my mind explains. But now at this third level, now the session is over and I'm watching TV, my mind says earbuds is so nice. Earbuds are so nice. Sleeping, my mind shows me the earbuds. So this is the third stage. And the fourth stage, that the thinking starts. And that thinking starts. You start enjoying. If I have earbuds, if I possess it, if I own it, I will be happy. This is the thinking pattern that causes lot of problem. This is also known as sankalpa. So before that sankalpa becomes the kama. Kama means desire. If you root out that sankalpa or relate it to any object or a person or a thing, he doesn't like me. He doesn't like me. He doesn't like me. He doesn't like me. So now my mind starts thinking of jealousy, of hatred, of bypassing, of keeping a distance. So that is another sankalpa. Ask yourself, how many times your mind has been thinking about the object or about a person? And that too happens in the family also. Because mind is constantly thinking, hey, how are you? Yes, I'm okay. I love you. I also love you. But inside there is no love. Mind is thinking constantly. Mind is opposing. That sankalpa grows. You are constantly thinking. If you do not stop the thinking, it becomes a desire. And desire ultimately leads you to action. This is what the Krishna is saying. That if we have these three elements, colored by guna, colored by qualities, then you are always in stress. Always in stress. So sankalpa, now see, translate that. Sankalpa, mind lacks high ideals and dynamism. So I am not in sato guna. I am not in sato guna. And then what happens? Though that thinking pattern, that sankalpa becomes an impulse. I become impulsive. Now I have to defy all the rules. I have to go out. No, but don't you understand this virus can infect you, defying the social... No, nothing will happen. Big bold, defying it. So that comes from the nature of sankalpa, dominated by rajas and tamas. Are you understanding? We are not going against anyone, but we are trying to understand that what happens when my personality, my behavior, my attitude works against not only myself but against the society. Now coming to the last point, and then we will do the meditation. Seeker level 1. Who is the seeker level 1? Who listens to the teacher from one ear and everything goes out from the second ear. Nothing is digested or assimilated. Their mind, because of sankalpa, opposes anything what is right or good in the life of individual and collective level. Second level, they listen from both the ears and it goes into the head and it remains in the head in the form of attitude, behavior and personality. So they are listening something. I have heard, I have a lot of dear friends and students, they say, oh, this principle is very good for my wife. So whom you are talking? I'm talking to you. So I can instantly understand this is the level seeker level 2. You are not going to change. So you are picking up the things. You do it humbly. No, sir, this principle is very good for the wife. So I didn't say anything. I say, okay, this falls under the seeker level 2. Oh, this is good for my family. So why don't you come one day and educate my family so that I will be happy in my family? Come on. This is the seeker level 2. They are very good. They are great experts in teaching others. They can give better talk than what I'm talking. But they don't implement in their life. They don't implement in their life. So we are understanding why our behavior, attitude, and personality works the way it is working. Why it happens, why I work the way, why I express my attitude and behavior the way I'm doing, even if it is not good. So second level of the seeker. And what about the third level of the seeker? You listen from both the ears. It goes into your head. But you have lot of questions. You clear all your doubts. And the moment there is a clarity, there is a conviction, what happens? That knowledge descends into your heart, takes the form of a right desire, commitment, and from the right desire and commitment, it is translated into action, and you change yourself. You change yourself. Sometimes we are surprised, amazed. No, I found you, Lara, so good, but you have changed. No, I'm example. I always give examples with Lara. So we are amazed at why you are behaving the way you are behaving. I never thought of it. So why it is happening? First factor, guna, sato, rajo, tamo. Second is sankalpa. My mind starts thinking, which is not required. And constant thinking results into possessing and owning it. Something happened me and with Samir couple of weeks ago. So I pointed him out. What is happening? Come on. Now I'm not revealing it, but I'm just telling you. He will realize it. So even if you try to hide anything in your life, your attitude, your personality, your behavior will express by the force of sankalpa, by the force of guna. Are you understanding that part? It will be expressed in your attitude, in your behavior. So our masters used to observe this. Okay, I am teaching you this, and your question is moving into the direction of the guna. You are unconscious, but the teacher knows where you are moving. And what happens when we behave the way we are behaving unconsciously, habitually? It causes suffering to me and to the society, to the people around me. Gun karma vibhagasah. So the Master Krishna says it is because of guna, it is because of sankalpa. Sankalpa takes the form of a desire, and the desire takes the form of my attitude, behavior, personality. I may try to hide it. I cannot hide it. I cannot hide it. It will be expressed. So my friend Samir expressed it, and I rebounded, I bounced back. Depending on the people. So what we need to do? So the Master says continuously doing meditation first. Second is, I have to maintain my awareness about the sankalpa. I am constantly thinking about others. Others means people, person, object, and things. And how that thinking takes the shape of attachment and detachment, likes and dislikes. And ultimately, the mind says, I should own it. I should possess it for happiness. Now the impression has already taken a deep root. And that deep root is going to cause suffering. There is no doubt about it. Because whatever is inside the mind, it has to come out. One way or the other way. Honey, how are you? I'm okay, how are you? You see the expression. Honey, how are you? Yes, how are you, honey? Thank you for asking. But if I do it mechanically, the other guy catches it. Other guy also knows that when I express in this way. Do you understand that? That we have been doing, we have done hundreds of times in our life. Isn't it? Don't tell me, no. Keep it hiding. So let us start our journey of meditation. Eyes are closed. So eyes are closed in the stage 1. We have been understanding this is our 6th session, and so we have been evolving and understanding this practice of mindfulness or meditation, whatever you want to say. So the stage 1 in which we be comfortable and carefree. Two things. So how we start? Close our eyes gently. Do not squeeze. But we remember the knowledge inside. What is the knowledge inside? Eyes closed is a symbolic expression that sense organ, even though the instrument of knowledge, cannot lead me to the self-discovery. Why? The sense organ always makes me aware of the object, people, things outside me. They are one-sided window. They cannot move inside. They cannot see anything inside. They have a limited perception. They cannot see me, and they cannot see the far-off objects. I am closest to the sense organ. But sense organ cannot find me. So once you have that right knowledge, what happens? Your sankalpa drops. What is that sankalpa? The mind is running what it has seen. See that. That is why we close our eyes. And the second part is a sense of steadiness in the body. Why the mind should not be allowed to go out gently, consciously, by understanding. So that leads us to being comfortable. So how we become comfortable? We move the mind on the neck joint. Mind goes to neck joint. What I say? The mind goes to neck joint. Or you become aware of the joint. You feel the sensation. Check that sensation leads you to a comfort. If not, you can adjust and align, but unnecessarily don't move. If it is absolutely necessary, you can adjust and align. And follows the sense of steadiness. Move the mind on the shoulder joints. Be there. Feel the sensation, being comfortable, and experience the steadiness. So at every point of awareness, you are witnessing the body is settling down in the state of being comfortable. Even if it moves, become aware. Move the mind on the hip joint, feel the sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. Move the mind on the entire body. It takes time, let it take time, and feel the sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. In that state, we just discussed about sankalpa. The mind is always busy because of the sankalpa. Otherwise, there is no reason. Thinking unnecessarily. It enjoys, it cherishes thinking about an object, about a person, about a location, about the time. You will realize this sankalpa is not a good sankalpa. A thought pattern that comes and goes, that passes. What will happen? Means I'm more concerned about the future, worries. Oh, he has lot, but I don't have it. Comparison in the present. Regret, I should have done something in the past. This is how the time works. So what should be our attitude about these sankalpas? A carefree attitude. Recognize any thought pattern which may take a shape of a desire and the frustration and the anxiety and the reaction. So we are carefree. Let the thought come, let it go. I'm not concerned about these thought pattern, and once the mind is clear, I will go back and I will find out the right attitude to work on. Meditation is simply not closing eyes and focus on the breath or the mantra. No. Knowledge must be there inside. In that state, what we have been doing in stage 2, we have been doing the 2 steps. We'll continue that step to purify the mind and raise our mind and the prana to a higher center. Simple. Look deep inside the forehead. Are you looking? Are you aware of the space? Very good. And keep looking into the space and start breathing quick and short breath from both the nostrils into the chest. Continue. Continue. Quick and short breath from the rib cage through both the nostrils in the state of the steadiness and being comfortable, being carefree. And stop this, do nothing. When in the state of doing nothing, you are aware. What I say normally, awareness, knowledge, and experience. More or less they are synonyms. Our experience makes me aware, and if I am aware, I know what is happening to me. And both gives us a knowledge. So why we did it? To purify the mind. What is that purification? To get rid of the sankalpa for the time being. And now take a deep, silent, slow breathing without making any noise. It should take time. First you fill the belly. Continue inhaling, fill the rib cage up to the throat, lips together, focus deep inside the forehead and start doing the humming sound. 10 humming sound. Don't inhale faster, making a noise. Why? That is what we are doing, educating the mind. What is more important? The way the mind is moving consciously in the practice. Continue doing the humming. And stop this humming sound. One little secret, let me tell you. In this humming, many people say, oh, it is humming. No doubt, humming has its effect on the mind. It is a sound, good sound. But what is the one little secret? As you continue, I would suggest you do this practice this week every day before we meet. I will be uploading the entire file on the Spreaker. So what is the secret behind it? If your breath rate in doing the humming sound drops down to less than 5 breaths a minute, you are bound to relax. And you can correlate it with the scientific understanding also, that you are bound to relax. There must be a physiological relaxation if your breath rate drops down. That is what happens in deep sleep also. So we are doing it consciously, one part. The other part we'll understand in the following session. So more or less the mind is centered away from the sankalpa. So we check it again. Move the mind on the head and the neck. Be there. Feel the sensation, relaxation and stillness. Move the mind on the right arm. Feel the sensation, relaxation and stillness. Move the mind on the left arm. How do you move the mind on the left arm? Is it a quality movement? Means what? The mind slows down the speed. There is no other thought, and as the mind moves, you feel the deepening of the sensation, relaxation and stillness. And if it is not, by regular practice it will happen. So move the mind on the rib cage. Feel the sensation, relaxation and stillness. Move the mind on the stomach, or I can say become aware of the stomach, or still I can say I look at the stomach. So who is looking? The mind is aware. I prefer move the mind on the belly, sensation, relaxation and stillness. Move the mind on the right leg, sensation, relaxation and stillness. Move the mind on the left leg. Feel the sensation, relaxation and stillness. Move the mind on the entire body, from the top of the head to the toes, and you feel sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Move the mind once again, check it. Your level of awareness goes up so that the instructions are heard carefully, as if you have become the highest level of a seeker. Now the mind follows the instructions it is living within, and it experiences the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. That much we had done last week. So in the stage 3, I'm going to modify a little. Why? To help you go deeper. If you have done the previous practice for at least 6 days, day and morning and evening, maybe 2 times, we have enough time. So now, look at the breath and make your breath a little deeper, not very deep. It should be as deep as you experience the belly is rising. First follows the rib cage when the breath is going in, and you feel fall of the belly and the rib cage when the breath comes out. But it is deep, silent, and slow. No noise at all. So how we can make it little deeper? So 2 things. The mind follows the breath and the breath follows the mind. And if the breath and the mind, they both move inside the right arm in the space from the shoulder to the fingertips when the breath is going in, and from the fingertips to the shoulder when the breath is coming out. So, if I explain you, the space inside the right arm is the highway, a freeway. That is what we say here. Prana, the breath, movement of the breath is the car, and the mind is the driver. So where the mind is moving, in the space inside the right arm, within and out breath, that sankalpa, thought pattern, unconsciously created, is ready to trigger our 5 sense organs and 5 motor organs. And they are expressed through, we know, our hands and feet, plus other other motor organs also. So what we are doing, does that make a sense? Now move the mind and the breath inside the left arm from the shoulder to the fingertips. When the breath is going in, when the breath is coming out, the mind and the breath is coming out and the mind is moving from the fingertips to the shoulder. Where? In the space. Where is the space? Inside the left arm. So you are helping the mind to live within, bypassing that sankalpa which causes the desire, and desire leads to an action. Action leads to maybe a pleasure or a pain or a like and dislike, and that is how we express our personality. So we don't allow, we want to get rid of it. Do you remember? The space inside is the highway. The movement of the breath is the car. Mind is driver. And the freeway is totally free. No one is there. So we expanded this practice, made it a little deeper than the previous one. Move the mind now with the breath inside the right leg, from the right side of the waist to the toes in the space within. And when the breath comes out, the mind and the breath coming out, mind moves from the toes to the right side of the waist. Extremities, motor organs, powerful action. You are thinking, and subconsciously you move into the kitchen and you start preparing a cup of coffee. Where that action has come from, the sankalpa. So we are understanding and doing the practice. We want to get rid of the sankalpa so that it does not create a desire that moves the mind outside for action. So we are preventing it. We are shifting and delete. In computer we say shift and delete. That is what is happening. Now, moving the mind inside the left leg. Inside the left leg is the space. Breath is going in, the mind is moving with the breath from the left side of the waist to the toes. We simply extended it. We lifted our mind up. Continue. Now moving the mind and the breath inside the spine in the space. So you don't start with any kind of imagination or fancies. As the breath is going in, you start moving the mind from the top of the head to the tailbone. We know where the spine moves exactly at the center of the right side of the body and the left. And when the breath returns, mind rises from the tailbone to the top of the head. When the mind is driven by the prana, either the right or the left, it causes the impurity in the mind. So now we can understand the middle path, why we move there, but with understanding, not mechanically, habitually. So continue with the same deep breath, but just trigger it by, when the breath goes in, mind moves into the spine. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. So what is that Om Shanti? Can we do it? Singing of Om Shanti? Om, just become aware of the top of the head. And when you say Shanti, let the mind and the breath move down from the top of the head to the tailbone. Shanti is an expression of Om, manifestation of Om. That is what is explained by our masters. But when the breath is coming out, you drop a Om at the tailbone. Why? Let the lower center understand it is all coming from the Om. And then the mind is rising up with Shanti. A sinking will help move the mind within. Om Shanti, deep breath, deep silence, slow breath, and the movement of the mind and awareness of the spine. Four-pointed awareness. In the life of a seeker, the first step is always, I have understood. There is a clarity. Let me do the practice until I move into a deeper experience as explained by our masters. So first do yourself before you give the practice to others. And now leave everything. Leave the deep breath, leave the Om Shanti. Move into the final step, breath mindfulness. When the mind is living within, from within, look at the breath going in and out. You know the breath is going in and out. First point of awareness. Second point, when the breath goes in, you feel the sensation. And the third point, you do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Continue with that three-pointed awareness of the breath. How do I explain it? In a very simple. You have two-story house. You first go inside horizontally. And then you move to the second floor. So first there should be a horizontal movement of the mind. Means the mind is moving within, living within. We have a conscious experience of that. And from there you can lift the mind up to the higher consciousness. That is the secret of breath mindfulness. Simply focus and do it. It will not. It normally doesn't work. It gives you a little bit of relaxation, no doubt about it. And do nothing. Remain in the state of doing nothing. Reach to the summit of the practice. Becomes the non-practice, effortless, natural. You live into that state. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift. No, need not to lift during this corona times. Open your eyes slowly. Know your experiences. And we will share our experiences before we conclude the session. So, Lara has a real smile now. So, how are you?
I feel good. I feel way more relaxed. I've actually been doing the practice since last Thursday, every day, once a day in the morning. And I had been doing it for a while and I'd stopped. And I feel so much better that I brought it back.
Yes.
Because I feel like it clears the static. It just tunes you back in. So it's been really helpful. So thank you.
Wonderful. How are you, Jerry? And David?
I'm here. Very relaxed. Very relaxed. So relaxed at the point where you said to Om and Shanti Shanti, I started audibly doing it, but then I questioned myself as to whether or not you wanted us to do it audibly or silently.
Silently.
So, yeah. You wanted it silent?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I missed the instruction there a bit. Yeah. David. How are you?
Oh,
Yes, David, how are you?
sorry I arrived a little late, so I missed the little bit of preamble, but I'm finding that it's becoming much easier and easier each session that I do, and I'm now, after listening to Laura and you comment, I'm going to start doing a practice every day because I just get into it so quick. When you said to go to the pinnacle or whatever it was at the end,
Yes.
Summit,
Yeah.
yeah, very easily went into that, like in a very, I don't know.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah, very good.
You see what happens, David, when I gave the instruction, when the breath is going in, the mind moves from the top, there you drop Om. So Om is a symbolic expression of the highest consciousness. And again, symbolic expression at the top of the head. And Shanti is an expression, is a manifestation. So let it move down with the breath going in. And it makes so much of sense to the mind that is living within. That there comes the synergy. So that is why we say the principles are, understanding the principles are very important.
Thank you.
Thank you. So how are you, Sameer?
Sir, it was very peaceful. And there is a cooling sensation near my eyes.
Oh, very good. Yes, yes.
Of the meditation, I realized it.
That happens. So thank you very much. That is all for today. Continue doing the practices and we will meet.